Within a week, I had photos. Derek yelling at the boys, Laura drinking before pickups, leaving them alone for hotel trips. I filed. Laura didn't expect it, screamed at 11 p.m. "You're taking my kids? I'm protecting them from your circus. You're a washed-up desk jockey with a temper. You're a liar with a thug who fights in front of kids." She hung up saying, "You'll regret this." Next morning, my tires were slashed. Mark's camera caught Derek at 3 a.m. I sent it to my lawyer. Laura lost control, sent fake, sweet texts, old photos. I didn't reply. She showed up unannounced, dressed for a date, eyes glossy with fake tears. "I just want to talk." I didn't move. Mark was with the kids. "Talk." She shifted. "This is ugly. We're co-parents, not enemies. You brought that meathead to my house. You started this war. The boys need us both. They had us until you traded me for a gym rat." Her lip curled. "You're bitter. You let him touch me in front of our kids. You're not innocent. I didn't cheat, lie, or bring strangers into their lives. You did." Silence. "You're boring," she said. I needed more. "Why not divorce me? Why the lies?" "You'd beg," she said. I smiled. "You don't know me anymore." I showed her the tire-slashing footage. Her face paled. "The judge will see the PI report. Your quiet time. The boys' counselor talks." "You'll lose," I said. "You destroyed yourself." She stumbled, left. At the custody hearing, I brought everything. Documents, teacher testimony, PI reports. Lucas spoke. "I don't feel safe at Mom's." Laura tried charm, tears, but the judge saw through. I got primary custody. She stormed past, hissing, "You ruined my life." I didn't respond. She did that herself. I felt peace, knowing the worst was over. Rebuilding began. Waking without dread, brushing teeth without her lies, packing lunches with calm. Laura circled with fake texts. Lucas left his jacket. "Ethan asked about your mom. Derek and I are done." I didn't care, didn't reply. Then I saw bruises on Lucas's arm. "What happened?" He looked down. "Mum got mad when I spilled her wine." "Did she hit you?" "No, grabbed too hard." I filed a protective order that night. Court chaos followed. Laura screaming, claiming I coached the kids, was abusive. Reports and Lucas's tears told the truth. The judge granted supervised visitation. Laura skipped the first 2 weeks, saying she needed time. Lucas stopped asking for her. Ethan asked, "Does Mum hate us?" I held him. "She doesn't know how to love right now." We rebuilt. New photos, painted walls, new plates, laughed more. One day, Derek showed up, hollow-eyed. "She's gone." Took my cards, drained my account. I wasn't surprised. She said, "You were crazy, manipulated the kids." I stared. "She used me," he said. "I'm sorry for the driveway." "I warned you," I said. "You thought you were different." I closed the door. That night, we ate ice cream on the truck's hood under the stars. Lucas leaned on. "Me," Ethan joked. I listened. Laura didn't break me. She freed me. Her letter came later, no return address, her sharp handwriting. "Brian, maybe you'll see I was hurting. I failed as a wife, but you weren't perfect. Tell the boys I love them." I tossed it in a drawer with court papers. She never fought for custody, never visited, vanished like her betrayal, quietly, selfishly. We healed. Lucas laughed again. Ethan grew protective. I breathed. Our home was ours, new sheets, Nerf battles in the garage. Ethan asked, "Do you love her?" "I don't know who she is," I said. He nodded. "Me neither." Betrayal doesn't destroy you if you don't let it. It teaches. Protect your peace. Fight for your kids. Love yourself. To the man finding texts or smelling guilt at 2 a.m., you're not weak, not crazy, not to blame. Get up, take your kids, your pride, your time. Walk out of the fire. The man she betrayed isn't who you'll become. He's who survived her. She'll never forget that. When betrayal rips through your life, it's not just a wound, it's a mirror, forcing you to see the truths you've ignored. My ordeal with Laura's infidelity, played out in front of Ethan and Lucas, taught me that love isn't a contract, it's a choice, and some choose to break it without remorse. The pain of watching her stand idle as Derek humiliated me wasn't just about her affair. It was the realization that I'd been blind to her slow drift into selfishness. Yet from that chaos, I learned resilience isn't revenge, it's reclaiming your dignity. My advice? Don't beg for loyalty from someone who's already checked out. Protect what matters, your kids, your peace, your self-worth, and let the betrayer face their own emptiness. For me, rebuilding wasn't about erasing Laura, but creating a home where my boys could laugh again, where I could breathe without her shadow. Document everything, not for vengeance, but for clarity. Truth is your shield in a custody war. The silence after the storm isn't defeat. It's space to rediscover who you are without their lies. Ethan and Lucas showed me strength in their small, fierce love, and I found mine in letting go. If you're caught in betrayal's grip, know this: you're not defined by their choices. Step forward, build anew, and let the life you create drown out the echo of their failure. Right there, in front of my wife and kids, her boyfriend pushed me and said, "Your dad is pitiful." Can you imagine the ground crumbling beneath you in the one place you thought was safe? I'm Brian Thompson, standing in my own Naperville driveway, the Chicago suburbs humming with normalcy, kids biking, sprinklers hissing, when my world implodes. I'm clutching grocery bags from Jewel Osco, expecting to walk into the familiar chaos of my twin boys, Ethan and Lucas, playing, and my wife Laura, maybe scolding them with a smile. But as I step out of the car, a shadow moves in my peripheral vision. A man, too close, too bold, beside Laura's red SUV. Who is he? Why is her face so calm, almost amused as he glares at me? My boys are there, eyes wide, frozen on the porch. The air thickens with something sinister, like a storm brewing in broad daylight. My heart hammers. Friend, neighbor, or something worse? The bags slip in my grip, apples hitting the pavement like warning shots. I take a step, and his voice cuts through. Your dad's pathetic. My sons flinch, and Laura doesn't move. What's happening here? What secret has been festering in my home, ready to erupt in front of my children, tearing apart everything I thought was mine? There's a silence that hits after rock bottom, not the cinematic kind, but one that rings like a concussion. That moment on my driveway in suburban Chicago, my twin boys watching my face hit the pavement, and Derek, her lover, looming over me like a smug linebacker in a fitted tee. It redefined pain. The worst? Laura didn't flinch. She stood there, arms crossed, eyes blank, smirking like she was binging a cheap soap opera on Hulu. My wife said nothing as another man shamed me before my sons. What kind of mother does that? Derek, 6 feet of gym bro bravado, stepped back, louder now. Your dad's pathetic. My kids, Ethan and Lucas, froze. 9 years old enough to know this wasn't a prank. Lucas reached for my hand, wanting to help. Ethan stood trembling, fists balled like he might charge Derek himself. I should have walked away, called the cops, taken the high road. But I'd had enough. I rose slowly, silently. Something snapped, something pure. I heard my bones crack before his. 10 minutes later, Derek was sobbing on the grass like a child, his wrist twisted unnaturally. His knuckles were mangled, splintered like dry kindling. He wailed like a wounded beast. Laura screamed too, not for me. "Stop! You're insane, Brian!" I locked eyes with her, blood on my hands. "What's wrong with me? You let that thug touch me in front of our kids, and I'm the issue." Her response was a slap, sharp, Sudden. I took it. Ethan screamed, shoving her, yelling, "Leave Dad alone!" That nearly broke me again. Let me backtrack. This wasn't random. This fight in our Naperville yard was a climax. The affair didn't start here, but the lies, cold glances, missing hours had poisoned my life for months, like arsenic in my coffee. I didn't want to believe it. Not from Laura. We met in college. She was fierce. I was her anchor. I thought I steadied her. She called me her home. But home got dull. I should have noticed 2 months ago when she lost her phone 4 times in a week, or when she dressed like she was hitting LA clubs to grab groceries. Her touch stopped. Always tired. Always distant. Her kisses were robotic. Forced. One night she smiled at a text. Hid the screen. I asked who. "Jessica from Pilates," she said. Jessica moved to Seattle years ago. I stayed quiet, stored it away. Then came late calls, muffled, in the bathroom with the shower running, thinking it was clever. But Lucas sealed it, whispering, "Dad, Mum kissed a man who's not you." At the mall. It hit like a blade through my spine. I followed her the next day. No confrontation, just a ghost in my own life. She went to a friend's house, then a downtown loft, buzzing up. A man opened the door. She kissed him. Deep, raw, eager. That man, Derek, her trainer. Tonight, he shoved me in, front of my sons, called me weak. That's why I broke his hands. But this isn't about violence. It's about betrayal. And what's next? After leaving him crying and her screaming, I packed a bag, took my kids, and left. No words, just silence that cut deeper than any insult. Trust me, this is just the start. The drive to my brother's was quiet, except Lucas's sniffles in the back. I saw them in the rear view, curled with their backpacks, stunned. Blood on my knuckles, dirt on my jeans. I didn't care. I should have been shaking, but I felt heat. Bitter, boiling heat crawling up my neck like I'd explode again. My brother, Mark, met us at the door. No questions, just stepped aside. "Staying the night or moving in?" he asked flatly. "Don't know," I said. "Maybe both." I didn't sleep. Sat on the guest room floor with a beer, replaying Derek's crushed face, not pride, rage, the sick realization that the woman I built a life with backed him, let him mock me, then screamed at me for defending myself. She texted 2 hours later, "You're crazy. The kids didn't need that. You traumatized them. I'm calling a lawyer." I stared, stunned. No apology, just blame. I replied, "You let him touch me in front of our kids. You traumatized them. We're done." No response that night. She called the next afternoon, 8 times. I answered. Her voice was cold. "Brian, let's talk like adults. You're dramatic." Dramatic? "Our kids saw your fling shove me. You didn't blink." "He didn't shove you, you tripped," she said, bored. I almost laughed. "You rewrite reality that fast. The boys saw his hands on me." "Can we skip your ego?" My ego. She was a stranger, manipulative, cruel. Not the Laura who birthed our sons, who cried when her dad died. "You cheated," I said. "Lied to our kids, disrespected me in our home, let some jackass touch me in front of them. And I'm unstable." "You're embarrassing yourself," she said calmly. "We haven't been happy for years. Maybe if you were more of a man." I hung up. No salvaging this. No therapy, no talks. She'd crossed a line. I needed the truth, so I dug. Phone records, socials, burner numbers, receipts, hotel check-ins, Instagram photos she forgot to hide. Her in a robe with him, sipping champagne, time-stamped when she claimed to be sick at her mum's. Lying was her art. My lawyer confirmed Illinois' no-fault divorce laws. Her betrayal meant nothing legally. She could demand custody, support, alimony. But I had proof, and the boys. Her next call went to voicemail. I sent a Dropbox of photos, messages, receipts, labeled for the judge. She didn't call back, But Laura doesn't quit quietly. She showed up at Mark's with Derek, his hand in a cast, grinning. "Thought we talked this out," she smirked. I looked at her, then him. "You brought him here." Derek stepped forward. "Gonna hit me again, coward?" Mark moved first, voice sharp. "Leave now." Laura rolled her eyes like at a school meeting. "We're here to talk." "No," Mark said. "You came to provoke on Brian's turf. You're not that dumb, Laura, unless Derek's dimming your wits." Derek grinned, favoring his arm. "Not my fault your brother can't handle. A real man. I was in his face, inches away. He didn't flinch, thinking I wouldn't act. You opened your mouth in front of my kids again," I said. "Now you'll learn what I do when I'm not keeping peace." Laura pushed me. "Grow up. You're not scary," she yelled. "Neighbors listening." Mark's wife took the boys inside. Laura turned on me, mascara smudged. "You're pathetic. Couldn't satisfy me. Couldn't keep me happy. Couldn't control your temper. Now you play victim." I smiled. She got nervous. "I'm not the victim," I said. "I'm documenting your downfall." I played her voice from my phone. "Maybe if you'd been more of a man." Then mine. "You cheated. Lied." Her face froze. "That's illegal," she hissed. "Illinois is two-party. You said it in front of our kids. The judge will care. You're bluffing." "I'm not. Derek, get that hand checked. Could have been worse." "You're crazy." "No, I'm focused. You're trespassing." Laura backed off. Derek followed when Mark stepped up. They left. She didn't look back. I collapsed, strength gone. Mark sat beside me, tossed me water. "I loved her," I said, raw. "I know," he said. She let him. I've seen it before. People show their true faces when they think they've won. I didn't sleep, wrote everything, dates, lies, talks, to understand where it fell apart. Signs were there. Disappearing dates, coldness, perfume to bed, new phone password. I stopped blaming myself at 4 a.m. Laura didn't know the man I'd become when she watched me fall and felt nothing. The real reckoning was next. The school called 2 days later. "Mr. Thompson, an incident with your sons." My chest tightened. "What?" "Caleb punched a kid who said your wife has a new husband, doesn't want them." I drove to the school, barely seeing. Caleb sat red-faced, jaw locked. Ethan stared at the floor. "Mr. Thompson," the counselor began. "Violence." I cut in, kneeling by Caleb. "You okay?" He nodded. "He said Mom has a new husband, we're better off with him." Rage burned silently. That night, I called Laura. "Who's telling our sons Derek's their stepdad?" She sighed. "They'd find out eventually." "We're not divorced. You moved him in." "You're dragging the paperwork. You assaulted him." I defended myself. You watched. "You're impossible," she muttered, hanging up. She was painting me as violent for a custody war. I documented everything. Talks, visits, the boys' stories of Derek in a towel, Laura locking them in their room for quiet time. Lucas asked, "Dad, what's a real man when Mum talks about Derek?" I left the room. Next day, I requested full custody. My lawyer said it'd be tough without neglect proof. I hired a PI.